This week on Let's Talk Schools, the district is going to the dogs. She's cute, she's cuddly, but don't be fooled. She's serious about school safety. Meet Canine Officer Delilah, one of our newest members of our FCS Police Department. Hello, and welcome to another edition of Let's Talk Schools. I'm Mike Looney, the host of the show, and have the good fortune of being the superintendent here in Fulton County. Today, we're going to be talking about a new addition to our employee group, and that is Canine Police Dogs. We have 3 of them here in Fulton County Schools, thanks to the innovation and the sponsorship of our school board. So I'm going to start with Chief. Welcome to the show, Chief Zaborski.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Good to have you. And you will introduce your Officer Cleveland, and your latest asset.
Yeah, this is Canine Officer Delilah. So she is, as you mentioned, she's one of 3 that we have recently acquired, and we've got they're all sporting labs. So we got Delilah and Ernie and Ducky.
Delilah, Ernie, and Ducky.
Delilah, Ernie, and Ducky. So.
And Officer Cleveland, you're obviously going to be full time. You've agreed to care for the dog 24/7.
Yes, sir.
And you're helping train Delilah, making sure that she can do the work here that we employed her to do in Fulton County Schools. How's it going so far?
So far, so good. She's hitting everything, that article that we put out for her to search. She finds it with no problems.
So what attracted you to this work, specifically working with canines?
So I have my own personal dogs that I do training with. I did Schutzen training, which is a sport training prior to this. And I just love training dogs anyway. So it seemed like a great fit to do.
Yeah, you look like a natural. Chief, so I know that when we first started talking about getting canines added to our skills and to our toolbox, there were concerns about the friendliness of dogs and do they pose a danger.
Right.
Can you talk about the selection process
Yeah.
and the type of dogs that Fulton County Schools has chosen to?
Yeah. So these are vapor wake firearms detection dogs. So if you're, the easiest example that we can give is if you've been to the airport and you've walked through TSA and had the dogs walk behind you at a safe distance, or they're kind of not even noticeable or there, these are the same dogs that are trained that same way. We went through the selection process of making sure that the dogs are not only trained to be able to do that piece of asset work for us, but we also selected them based on temperament too. So we've got kind of a twofold mission when we employ these throughout the district, and one of them obviously is the safety and security end, is another layered piece of that culture of safety that we continuously talk about. But the other part is kind of what we're doing right now. It's the public relations work, right? So they are very friendly dogs. They're built to be that way, and you know they're is going to be is good an asset to our students and our staff and visitors to our campus as they are asked to pet friendly, right? You know, we want to bum rush them, you know, and make sure that because any animal can get frightened that way. But as the officers are working throughout the building and they take their breaks or whatever they're doing in the course of the day, we'll be able to do some of that PR work too, where we'll be able to sit in the classroom and kind of what we're doing right now and chat about, the work that we're doing, get pictures, taken with the kids and the dogs. They'll be able to pet them and love on them too, just the same. So it does a lot of things. It eases anxiety. It brings to light kind of the public work that we do as law enforcement, and to build those relationships. But again, the primary function is the value added safety features. So we're super excited about them.
Yeah. So Officer Cleveland, the dog's specialty, Delilah's specialty is weapons detection. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So talk to us a little bit about that. What are they able to smell and highlight if you're doing some surveillance in a school building?
So they can detect weapons, guns. They can actually detect ammo. If you just had ammo on you, they can detect that as well. It's as small as a .380 or just a little small gram of powder. If you had a gun previously, they can detect that as well. It may not be on you at that time, but if you had it on you, they can still detect.
Okay. And so, Chief, how are we going to use the K-9 officers? Are they going to be randomly deployed across the district? Talk to us about, I know we don't want to tell potential bad actors what we're doing, but kind of globally what we're doing.
Yeah, not all trade secrets, but yeah, just in a general, so we past couple of years, we've been working through setting up the Evolve weapons detection system, the across the district. And this is going to be working hand in hand in conjunction with support for that too. So again, you kind of go back to the TSA model, where you're walking through the security checkpoints. As you walk through, we got dogs walking behind you at the same time. So it is that another layered approach to all of that, just as a general for that support. Also, we're going to have the opportunity. So if we do have potential of, we get tips from time to time. Hey, I saw a gun on campus, or, somebody threw one in the woods, or, those type of things. So we'll be able to deploy them, as the non-scheduled type pieces of things that we do too, right? So in response to threats that we may potentially have, or tips that we can potentially have, so we'll be able to put them to work doing those things too.
Do you foresee them being deployed when we have events, as an example, basketball games or football games?
Absolutely.
Or anything like that?
Yeah. So again, just for the sheer presence of that, I know there's some of our higher volume public events that we do take and set up the weapons detection systems too, so we can deploy the dogs with that as well as just doing them singularly too. So, there's no reason why when folks are going into a stadium, if they're coming into a central point, that we can't, walk the dogs behind, folks as they enter into stadiums. Even there's no weapons detection system potentially set up. So it lends itself to a lot of easy mobility and flexibility into the way that we set up our event security too, for after hours things.
So, Officer Cleveland, talk to us about their training process for you to teach the dog the skills they need and to continue to work with them. I'm assuming it's pretty intense training.
It is. Well, so honestly, the dogs pretty much already trained. We're the ones that need to be trained.
Train the humans.
The dog knows what they're doing. We just have to learn their alert process. So they've been training probably ever since they were born to start it. But our training is for 5 weeks to get to know your dog, basically,
right.
To learn their movements.
To build a relationship.
To build a relationship and learn their movements when they're alerting on things.
Well, I'm sure Delilah has plenty to say, but she's not Mike today, so we'll just have to take her panting and her smiling as an affirmation that she's happy to be here. So, Chief, we have invested literally thousands and thousands of dollars in school safety and security equipment. We have our own police force. We have our own SWAT team. We have drug detection systems. We have, weapons detection systems. We have CSAs, and now this latest edition, we have 3 K-9 units to spread across the district. I know that the topic of school safety is really important at the forefront of everybody's mind. What else do you think is coming in the future as it relates to continuing to evolve and be ready for, the unknown or the unplanned incident?
We've done a really great job, I think, investing in our people, and it's really where the rubber meets the road, right? You can have great processes and things in place. We've done a really good job with, our people. Obviously, we're taking another step and doing dogs too. But the wave of the future, and I don't know which way this is going to swing, right? But AI is the big talk, right? And there's a lot of things out there. There's a school district in our metro area, and I'm interested in finding a little more out about it. And there was just an article in the news about how they're integrating AI technology into their camera systems for being able to pick out things and bad actors prior to. So I think the latest and the greatest is some of the technology enhancements. We've got great, again, I go back to, we got great people, we got great policies, we got good practices, we got good procedures, but the technology, I think, is starting to catch up with some of those things now, right? And looking to what that can offer in the future is super exciting to take a look at.
Right. So, Officer Cleveland, when you're in schools, parents or employees, or even students that might be watching this show, what's the best advice that you would give them if they see you and Delilah approaching a hallway or classroom?
Just be yourself and know that this is an extra added protection for you and your child at the school.
Now, their dogs are pettable, but we don't want, dozens of students running up to the dog to try to love on the dog at one time. So
That's correct.
is it ask for permission before you pet? Is that kind of the standard that we're using? Or
Yes, sir. I would say ask because the dogs, some people can seem aggressive coming towards them and they'll kind of shy away from it. And we don't want that to happen. So just ask for permission and we'll allow the dog to come to you. That way they'll feel more comfortable.
so you take the dog home every night,
Yes, sir.
and we've furnished you with a patrol car that's specially equipped with, I suppose, a dog cage and
Yes,
a
sir.
canine cage and that sort of thing. And talk to us about the feeding and how is that all handled here?
So I get up every morning at 4:30 and feed her, take her out to use the restroom, and then we'll go play for a little while, and then I get myself ready to come to work. In the evening when we get home, I feed her as soon as I get home. Sometimes I work events, so I keep food in the car as well. So to be prepared, just in case I don't make it home by 5 o'clock. So she normally eats around 5 every day, and then I'll take her, use the restroom, and we'll go play again.
And you have to take it to the vet, the dog to the vet, and all, the whole 9 yards.
Yes,
It's like a dog owner.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Well, Delilah, you sure are a cutie. That's for sure.
It's a good dog.
So one more question. So do they get tired? I mean, how long can a dog work sniffing for weapons and ammunition and that sort of thing before Delilah needs a break?
So far she doesn't seem to have a shut off. Even when we get home, she still seems like she's working. When we get home, I actually have to put her up to make her stop.
Okay.
So I would say she could probably do at least a solid 45 minutes of searching before she needs like a 15-minute break.
Okay. So an hour or so and then a break. Just 15 minutes.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Very good. Well, thank you so much for joining our show today. It's been interesting. Obviously, there's just a natural affinity that people have when they see an animal and they want to love on an animal. And I know our board is absolutely delighted that we have 3 K9 units servicing Fulton County schools. Gentlemen, thank you for joining this edition of Let's Talk Schools. Folks, thank you so much for watching this edition. We look forward to seeing you again soon. And now, let's go around the district in 90 seconds. That's it for our show this week. Let's keep this conversation going. We'd love to hear from you on our social media platforms. Join us next time on Let's Talk Schools, and thank you for watching.